Hello and welcome to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be checking out a new game. This is The Tragedy at Deer Creek, which is an indie point-and-click adventure game. Thanks very much to the developers for the key. We're going to dive in and take a look. I believe we're here to solve some kind of mystery. Not quite sure of the nature of it.
Is anyone picking you up?
Yeah, there's this guy Henry that's going to give me a ride to Deer Creek. He'll be there waiting for me.
Okay, but just be careful, you know?
Oh, honey, I'll be fine. This isn't my first trip exactly, but...
Yeah, I know, but still. Have you thought about where you want to go when you come back?
maybe we could go to Greece. Or Italy? I think Amanda would love it. You know how much she loves mythology.
Sounds lovely. Let's decide when you get back. Is everything packed?
Yeah, I've checked the list twice. Everything's packed. And most importantly, the Supermom socks that you and Amanda got me.
Have you washed them?
Oh, you gotta wash socks?
But anyways, it's
Oh
real.
shit, the taxi's already here. I gotta get going, honey. Remember to pack her clothes for tomorrow. Her dino is on the green sofa, okay? Love you, hun. Give her a kiss from me, okay? Okay, bye.
A few days later, Jefferson train crossing. Sparrowland. I understand they're Swedish developers. You can sort of tell by the names in a way, can't you?
Oh, this will be perfect. Thank you, Henry.
Weary from the long travel, Charlotte falls into a dreamless sleep. Day 1. Finding Deer Creek.
I should grab my stuff and get going. The fire died out during the night and I'm freezing. The matches I brought shouldn't run out, and my journal keeps me on track on what to do. I better make a fire. I don't want to come back to a freezing cold cabin.
New objective. Preparing. Okay. So what I might do, as it's voiced, I might just whack the speech up just so that's easy to make out. Do we have anything on us? We got the matches. If I take matches and
I
click
need
on
to
the
get
fire.
closer.
Oh, right. Okay. So how do I... Oh, okay. I see. So I walk closer. Okay.
Should be enough wood to burn until I get back. Henry already prepared the firewood. Ugh, should be fine just tossing a match in. I doubt I'll get any warmer immediately, but once I come back, there hopefully will be some warmth in here.
We got here. Photo.
Looks like a family photo. I try not to interfere with the history of the places I visit, but I can't help myself collecting old photographs. I am a photographer after all. A small family of 3. I found this in the cabin. I suppose they stayed there. It says Thomas Adams, Mary Adams, and Rosalind Adams on the backside. A small family of... It says Tom...
The key?
I should start on getting my reference photos before I... Looks like she froze mid-dance. Nice detail, the butterfly wings on her back. This key should wind up the tone wheel. Let's get the reference photo. It's a beautiful embroidery of a horse.
Right, we won't take the key. What about here?
I wonder what's inside.
Nothing.
It's empty. I'll use this later with my medium format once my reference photos are taken. I've had this thing for the last 16 years, and it's yet to let me down.
Nice modern technology.
Film from my instant print camera. I'll save these for later, should I need them.
Okay.
It's the list of reminders Henry left. Mostly common sense stuff, like making sure to get a fire going before bed. My lifeline when out in the field.
Warm fire. Needs to take a reference photo when I leave to load the camera up with film. Okay, so we go in here and combine.
Perfect fit. Everything should be good to go.
Okay.
Now to take the reference photo. I hear the wind howling outside. Smoke rises out of the chimney.
Sure does. Okay.
The woods are but an arm's reach away. I'll stick to the path.
Oh.
A wagon lies broken along the path. Yeah, I saw the wagon just a minute ago. I went straight forward from there.
Good. Then you went up a small hill.
That's right. I'm a bit out of breath after the climb, actually.
Just keep going forward and you'll see the camp soon.
There it is. I can see it. I can see the camp.
Now, listen up. It is important that you always keep your radio.
Henry? Can you hear me? What the hell is going on here? Strange. This is a military-grade flashlight. It shouldn't just give up like that. The moonlight is strong enough for me to see where I'm going, though. I'll be fine.
Okay.
A fully loaded wagon lies broken beneath the snow. Did they leave it in a hurry?
I think I can go up to each hut. Let's start here.
This looks like an office. This huge painting kind of dominates the whole room. I guess it was meant to. This must be the foreman of the camp.
Him,
A
isn't
small
it?
family of... It says...
Thomas Adams? Looks like him, doesn't it?
There's no oil.
Okay. I'm not going to start guessing at
Just a pair of
combinations.
empty journals. It's an old photograph. It's a group photo, probably of the people who lived here. Their names are written on the back, along with their roles. Mary Adams, wife of the foreman. She didn't seem to have any real duties, as none are mentioned. My gosh, she looks so pale and weary. Thomas Adams, foreman. He looks pretty stern. I suppose you had to be running an operation like this. Quite an elegant suit for a logging camp, though. This large, burly man is Charles Miller, a logger. Damn, those shoulders could probably carry a whole tree. They were made of sterner stuff, these men, that's for sure. Norman Jeffrey. He looks to be almost 2 meters tall. Unlike the others, there's no job listed for him. Hank Grady, logger. His blonde hair makes him stand out from the others, but there's a weariness in his eyes. There's a woman with the same hair. Maybe they're siblings? A rugged-looking man with deep-set eyes. The mustache really frames his face. That's Sam Barnes, the camp's blacksmith. Clearly much younger than the rest, Morgan Wright worked as a logger. Quite handsome, actually. I wonder what brought him here. She has the same hair as Hank. They must be siblings. Wow, she's real pretty. That's Linda Grady, the teacher. My goodness, what a gaze this man has. This is Edgar Flynn, a logger. He looks like he's carved from stone. I sure wouldn't want to get into an argument with him if I were one of the other loggers. This is Samuel Levine, the shopkeeper. Bit slimmer than the others, with sharp eyes. Jane Miller. It reads she worked in the infirmary and also in the cookhouse. She looks concerned. What a motherly aura this woman gives off, and it's just a photograph. Dora Evans worked in the cookhouse. Man, I bet she had her hands full keeping the men well fed.
Okay, interesting. I wonder if we're going to need to identify certain people later on, a bit like Obra Dinn or something like that.
An ink blotter, a dried up bottle of ink, and an old wax stamp. I won't need any of them. Huh, seems to be a handwritten note. I'll put this in the backpack in case I want to read it later.
Read it now.
October 14th, 1887. The men left this morning as dawn broke. I pray the Lord will guide them. October 15th, 1887. Yesterday's search was fruitless. The men could not find any trace and came back empty-handed today as well. October 16th, 1887. There's no more text.
Seems like they were looking for someone. I wonder what happened.
I'm just going to enter 1887.
Ugh, I'll freeze to death before I can guess the... Ugh,
So the game obviously says we haven't found the combo yet, so it's fine.
The handle on this differs from the others.
It's locked.
The drawer is locked.
The drawers are empty. They're all empty. No point in carrying old junk around, even if it's antique. Just scraps, it's empty, unfortunately.
Alright, need a key and a combination.
Dragging decorative, impractical.
This painting, it almost feels like it's staring at me.
There's something strange about the eye.
Okay. Ooh.
It's a metal disc with a hollowed-out center. Ugh, there's nothing to grab onto. My fingers just slip.
Interesting. Okay, well, I don't have anything I don't think that would help here. So I'll come back in a bit. What about up here?
What a scene. This will be a great shot when I bring my medium format.
Goodness, that thing is enormous.
That's what she said.
This must be a wheel for one of the timber wagons. An old cast iron stove. Its hatch is just some scrap piece. Grim looking thing. Huh. More nothing of interest. Just
Oh, okay, blacksmith stuff.
It's a toolbox.
Barnes is printed on the side.
It's kind of locked, huh?
It's locked.
There's a workbench over here. A whetstone to sharpen various stuff around camp.
I should focus on getting my reference photos before I...
Just old junk.
Let's get the reference photos done.
Just old junk.
So is that her saying she wants me to visit every location before she'll come back and do anything?
The last flame died a long, long time ago.
An old blacksmith. I should focus on mapping out the... Let's get the reference photo.
Just an old bucket, likely used for cooling down.
Alright, let's just finish visiting places then.
Looks like an infirmary. Guess the workers got hurt regularly. This must be where the men slept and rested during their free time. Those are all the nearby buildings, but there must be more to Deer Creek than this. I'll have a look around.
Maybe a schoolhouse or something up there, but I want to go back here first. It looked like there was things I could fiddle about with.
I should start on getting my reference...
Oh, okay, right.
I can see the camp extend. This must be the creek from which the camp got its name. The bridge connecting the two parts of the campsite has been completely demolished. This wagon has already made its last venture. This crane is massive. It seems to be missing a part. Maybe this could work as a makeshift bridge if I could just find a way to fell it. I should be able to find something in the filer's shack. There were plenty of tools lying around in there.
I guess I need to find something to get that tree down, even if it means meddling with the past. Yeah, I can't just not try to get to the other side.
No, that isn't going.
Alright, so I think that's my green light to go back and start fiddling with stuff, so...
I might need to reconsider moving stuff around. Otherwise, I won't make it to the other side.
Way too big. I need to... Just old junk. Just old junk. I'll grab a few. They might... Just old junk left behind.
This might come in handy.
Yeah, it might.
Should I need to make a fire? This'll work.
Okay, got some stuff. That's about it for in here. Can I...
Jamming nails into this wall.
Smash it with a hammer.
I don't want to break that.
Alright. She wouldn't pick up the pliers in the tool place. That's kind of what I wanted. I wonder if I could smash the lock on that tool chest, actually.
Let's see if I can get this thing open. Come on, you bastard.
A portrait of an old soldier. What's it doing hidden in a toolbox? Who were you, old soldier? Looks like Hank Grady served in the Union Army during the war. There's a distant look in his eyes, like part of him never made it back. It's not all that heavy.
This will be my way over the creek. It's a bit flimsy and really blunt, but I think I should be able to sharpen it.
So if I go in here, and let's say combine that with the whetstone.
I think this will work, but it's going to take forever. I'll head back to the cabin and sharpen it there.
That's all the reference photos. Time to head back to the cabin and get started sharpening the axe.
Maybe. I wasn't quite finished though, honestly. So this ring mold here.
A fully loaded wagon. Did they leave it in?
It seems to be a circular mold. Who would want to make rings here in Deer Creek?
I was thinking of maybe using it to get the thing off in that office, but maybe not. So look what we got in here as well.
A dirty old rag.
I'll have that.
Good thing I'm wearing gloves. This rag is dirty. Very dirty. The scissors are worn and they could prove useful. I'd rather not. I'd rather not.
What's we got over here?
An old medicine box. Rusted, locked, or frozen shut.
While this is a tried and true method, I'm afraid
Yeah, no, I'd rather not trip.
Is it poison?
What the hell is this? Laudanum. Contains alcohol, opium, and morphine, apparently. There's still some left in the bottle.
Sherlock Holmes' favourite tipple. That's a bit of laudanum. Okay, well, I guess that's probably it over here. And then there's this one.
There's a mirror on the wall. Strange to think that the men looked in this exact same mirror while shaving 100 years ago.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ. No. No. I shouldn't let my imagination get the better of me.
Interesting. Maybe there'll be supernatural stuff going on.
I don't smoke. Nothing but dried up coffee inside. What's this? Seems like a hastily drawn overview of the area.
I guess it shows where the men worked.
Okay.
Barnes ventured west towards the Western Brook. Miller covered the woods to the south of the foreman's cabin. Flynn covered both the south and the north. He must have been quite the woodsman. Levine went east towards Peregrine Peak. Lemonade, frozen solid.
Okay.
The bellows has ripped. I suppose the men entertained themselves with music in their spare time.
Alright, so we'll probably do head back now.
Good grief, it's cold. Whew, I'll toss some logs into the fire and get started on sharpening the axe. If I can get this thing sharp enough, I just might be able to fell that tree. This trip certainly starts out differently.
A bit of a flashback. 17th August, 1886.
Mrs. Adams, I would advise keeping a journal. It may prove beneficial in alleviating your condition. At first, I did not know what to make of Dr. Williamson's recommendation. At the time, I thought nothing of it, as he was yet another man of medicine, attempting to somehow distract me from my melancholy, as they had seemed to giving up on finding a cure for my condition. I cannot say that I blame them. I have lived with this affliction for so long, I failed to remember what it was like to be without it, if ever such a time truly existed. How the keeping of a journal might be of any use, I do not know, but I suppose it is worth the attempt. The men began to fell the trees nearby in framing the buildings. I must admit, it's quite impressive to behold the manner in which these closely bound men work, with steady hands and quiet efficiency. And as dusk falls, we gather around the cast iron stoves we brought to rest from the day's hard work. I watched Thomas as we traveled deeper into the land. I sensed his growing anxiety, as the terrain proved far more impassable than what he had been promised back in the city. The promise of untapped land had been too great a lie. He had set his mind upon proving himself a man of industry. And in that desperation, I fear he placed too much faith in the words of a silver-tongued land broker. There was no turning back though, only forward. He maintained his composure in front of the men, but I could sense his doubts about his endeavor. I didn't want to burden him even further with inquiry, so I kept quiet. Regardless, the men continued their diligent work, and within a few weeks' time, quarters for the men and women were erected. A cookhouse and a barn had their roots laid. It felt wondrous, seeing civilization take shape upon this most wild of frontiers. We were meant to reach Deer Creek much earlier, but, as with many aspects of this endeavor, things proved far more difficult than anticipated. I feared the circumstances would be hard on Rosie, but she surprised me, as she so often does, playing with and cherishing every small insect and creature she came across. She even sat beside the loggers and chatted, much to Thomas' dismay and my ill-concealed merriment.
Mr. Flynn, did you know that I love dancing? I had a dream last night that I was a ballerina. A real ballerina. How old are you? Have you always had such a thick mustache? I'll be turning 8 in 2 weeks, and I've wished for a horse. Because I love horses. And butterflies, too. They're so beautiful. Do you have any wishes for your birthday, Mr. Flynn?
Yeah. Peace and quiet.
Oh, Mr. Flynn, you can't give someone peace and quiet because it's not a thing.
Well, I wish it were.
Day 2, far side of the camp.
That'll leave a blister. One thing is for certain, I'm no blacksmith, but hopefully it's sharp enough.
Can I do anything with this key now? Ah.
Should fit. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. She needs a tone wheel, or there won't be any music.
Oh.
At the back of the north wind. Bedtime story, I'd assume. The glass keeps her safe. I can't get to her.
Only one thing for that.
I don't think bludgeoning that.
Fair enough.
Shouldn't the sun be up by now? What's going on here?
Alright, so should we just go straight... Actually, I wanted to try the pliers on this thing here.
Pliers are too deep. I can't get a hold of it. Damn it. With the condition this axe is in, I should see... Jamming nails into this?
Fine. We'll come back another time. Alright, onwards to the bridge.
Well, that's the end of that axe.
Ooh.
The other side of the camp. I wonder what these buildings were for.
Okay, so in the settings, I think the cinematics are a different sound. I'm just going to make those a bit louder as well. Right time, I guess.
Seems to be some sort of living quarters. I bet this was used day in and day out to patch clothes and blankets. Colonel Bramwell's finest roast. I've never really read the Bible, but I've heard this passage.
Judge not, and you will not be judged. Condemn not, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. And a sock. A couple of socks. Okay.
It's stacked, Scandinavian style. They knew what they were doing.
Should ignite with a match.
Sure.
It should burn for a long time.
Is that the child's room?
Looks like the children captured their own view of the world by drawing it.
All pages are blank.
It's pretty hefty. Must be made of wood. There's a large hairpin in its hair. To hell with it. I'm taking it. I'm sure the kids played with this and the wooden horse all the time.
Damn it. The tone wheel key is stuck. It won't turn.
Hammer.
This isn't the time for
Smash everything with a hammer.
a toy piano for the children to practice playing music.
Can't do anything with that. Okay.
I bet it took the kids on some real imaginative adventures back then. I don't want to... It's a laundry room. There's a mangler next to a large washtub. It was probably quite busy here, considering how hard work was back then. Laundry soap, and lots of it. Laundry soap. A small key was left on the shelf. I wonder where it goes. It wasn't just the men working hard, that's for certain. Looks to be laundry soap, used... It's a bit rickety. Maybe there's a way to get it loose. I don't see anything that needs...
Hit it with a hammer.
Gentle knock should do it.
My method of always hitting stuff with hammers is working. I wonder if that can be used on the crane thing.
Seems to be a tub for cleaning clothes. Huh, they left some things in there.
It's frozen solid. There's no way I can grab it unless the ice has melted.
This isn't the time for being... The pipe from the stove runs through the tub. There's something inside the ice. Is it a bracelet? The ice still hasn't melted.
Oh, okay, so that's why I lit the furnace. That just needs some time to get that going. Okay.
Grandma had one of those.
Leave that a minute then.
Looks like a barn. The leather seems dry and brittle. I doubt I'll be doing any horseback riding. Looks like an old hemp rope. The rope is surprisingly light.
Nice, nice. Stealing lots of stuff. I like it.
Air is thick with dust. No barn without a hay fork, I guess. Is there something in the haystack?
Looks like it. Another ring.
What is this? A small metal ring. A piece of machinery?
What's all these metal rings?
A dining hall. Cutlery's left on the table as if they simply disappeared. Such a great photograph. Seems like Hank, over a cup of coffee, said something Flynn didn't agree with. Such a great... Nothing interesting about them. They feel heavy, probably still filled with grain or flour. I've never seen a pot this size. Jeez. This probably required 2 people to empty. No point in carrying this around unless I... Damn, the size of this thing. They sure ate.
Sure did. Okay. Is this one?
A storehouse. Damn, it looks like a storm went through. Christ. It's an antique cash register. It's just an old rusted coffee can. I'll take a closer look. I usually don't do this, but this might hold some clues to what happened here. Hey, would you look at that? There's a ledger inside. S.
That's easy
Levine,
enough.
General Store, Deer Creek, 1887. This might have some answers.
Oh. Right.
Issued to Mr. Hank Grady. Pipe tobacco, 1/2 pound. Chamomile tea, 1 tin. Charged to his account, a modest aid against restless nights and wandering dreams. Duly noted. Issued to Mr. Barnes. Coffee, 3 pounds. Sugar, 1 pound. Charged to his account. Supplied generously to sustain the evenings he spends with Mr. Grady at the forge, sharing coffee and conversation while seeing to small projects left from the day. Duly noted. Provisioned unto Ms. Dora Evans for cookery. Salt pork, 12 pounds. Sugar. Issued to Jeffrey. Peppermint drops, 1 pound. Molasses taffy, 1 tin. Charged to his account. Curious quantity for a grown man, yet duly noted. Issued to Mr. Miller. Worker boots, 1 pair.
Shoelaces, 1 pair. Can of...
Nothing particularly weird there, I don't think.
Issued to Mr. Flynn. Pipe tobacco, ½ pound. Matches, 1 box. Charged to his account. Enough to keep the pipe lit, though not the purse. Duly noted. Embroidery thread, 6 spools. Sewing needles, 1 packet. Charged to her account. A tidy assortment for the lady's handiwork. Duly noted. Also issued to Ms. Grady. Extra undergarments, 2 sets. Charged to the company account. Needed to endure the chill of the schoolhouse evenings. Duly noted as a proper expense after consulting Mr. Adams. Miller and Grady came to blows over a disagreement at the timber line. Words escalated quickly, and before anyone could intervene, Grady had Miller on the ground with fractured ribs. We'll have to spend 2 weeks in the infirmary before being able to return to work. I have observed a certain familiarity between Mrs. Miller and Mr. Wright whenever they are together in the storehouse. It seems unseemly, and such improprieties can serve no good purpose in this camp or in Mr. Adams' business dealings. I shall leave it for now. Mrs. Adams entered the storehouse just before closing. The 3 men at the counter, Wright, Flynn, and Miller, fell silent at once. I could barely hear her as she spoke in a faint voice, asking for soap and candles for the foreman's cabin. She kept her head bowed, her gaze fixed upon the counter, and did not meet my eyes throughout the errand. The men said nothing, merely watching as she stood by. Goods supplied and charged to the company account, duly noted.
Okay.
What's this? Seems like someone didn't want anyone to enter or leave.
Mysterious door. Okay, what about the key?
Wrong key. It does.
Okay, worth a try. What about picking the lock?
Seems too heavy to pick with a hairpin, but maybe the key is somewhere here in camp.
What about smashing it with a hammer?
Well, that's not going to work.
Alright. Worth a shot. Okay. What about the ice?
The ice still hasn't melted.
Is it up to the schoolhouse?
I wonder what this building is. Looks like a church, but there's no cross. A school, maybe?
That's my guess. Seems to be confirmed there.
Ugh, it's no use. The door is blocked from the inside. I should take a look around. The door is blocked, so this might be the only way. It still feels like a bad idea, though.
Get in before it snaps. Game over.
Oh, goddamn, my shoulder. Oh, fucking hell. Well, that was stupid. I'm not telling Peter about this. Yeah, it seems like the window is my only way in. Hopefully I can find something that can help me reach it.
Well, I got the rope.
Perhaps a ladder or a rope?
Yeah, I got it.
The rope won't latch onto I need to tie something to the...
Okay, okay. What have we got?
Life has many possibilities.
Mhm.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Won't work. Don't. Impossible.
All right. Let's come back to that, I think. I haven't got anything to make
The ice still hasn't...
Okay. Fine, fine. Well, I've got a couple of other ideas. Let's go to the crane. Can I use this on that?
There's no way.
I bet this is going to be heavy.
What does that do?
The chain has already been...
Okay.
I'm sure this will end up being useful.
I'm not. I'm just doing stuff to do it.
The chain has already...
We'll do it the other way then.
The chain is already... Seems intact. This wagon has already...
How do I raise the chain?
The handle is in place. The chain is already...
Is there a catch somewhere, or... I don't know. I don't know. We'll come back to it. Let's try the key we found in the drawer.
Wrong key. It doesn't...
Urgh, can I pick the lock? Oh.
This should work.
Ah. I was going to lift that wagon up, though. Okay, fine. What
It
about
won't
this?
fit like this, but with...
Okay, okay. How about pliers?
So now it's bent for...
Use that.
Fuck, it fits, sure, but I clearly don't know what I'm...
Ah. All right. Well, we got the rope thing now, so let's take that back.
Made it. In one piece. That should be all the buildings in the camp, but...
I can't shake the feeling that there's something about that locked door.
Yeah, no shit.
The colors are still vibrant. The colors are... A framed photograph. A picture of a teacher and her class.
Red noses and red cheeks. It must have been a chilly day when they took this picture. I can't find any names, but I'm quite sure that's Rosalind Adams in the front. Let's have a look. Recently, I've worked with Alfred on his letters and words. He stumbles, hesitates, and often grows frustrated with himself, yet he does not give up. I can see the struggle in his small shoulders, and even though my heart aches for his struggles, he has got to learn for himself. This morning, he read his first full paragraph without faltering. I could sense the other children held their breath as he laboriously made it from word to word until the end. My heart swells with pride. In a place so harsh, these small sparks of learning are like sunlight breaking through the clouds. Today, I watched little Rosalind as she explored the pages of her book with eyes wide as the morning sky. She asks questions that tumble out like the rushing creek, each one more eager than the last. Her laughter is as bright as her curiosity is unyielding. I marvel at the way she devours knowledge, as though the world itself were a story waiting for her alone. In her, I see the purest joy of learning. May the Lord keep her spirit unbroken, for children like her remind me why I came here at all. I pray that God grant me the wisdom to guide these children with love, not fear. In this wilderness where life and circumstance weigh heavy on the heart and mind, and where all wrestle with their hardships and sorrows, that I may be a beacon of mercy and patience for the little ones. Some evenings, I feel as though Deer Creek sits at the very end of the world. The forest looms like a great wall around us. The bristles of the trees hum in the wind, as if the trees were whispering secrets to one another. The men return from the logging grounds with faces chapped by cold and weariness. It is a hard place, and at times, a lonely one. Tonight, the lantern flickers weakly, fighting the drafts that creep in through the boards. Nights like these, I find solace in the scripture. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. The words felt written for this place, for this very night. As I read these passages, although the wind outside still howls, the cold still gnaws, and the shadows press close, I am reminded that even here, in this harsh and distant corner of the earth, I am held. The Lord's presence reaches farther than any wilderness, and with that truth resting in my heart, I find comfort to meet another day. Today, as the cold wind cut through the camp, I reflected just how far from the world we are. I felt once more the quiet comfort of having Hank near, silent, vigilant, and actionable. I cannot help but think of the life he has carried before arriving here. The war, the rangers, the horrors no one dares to speak aloud. I see it in his face, in the distance that sets in upon his eyes at times, as if a dark bird, just from nowhere, lands upon his soul. How utterly cruel the world has been to him, to force a soul so capable of love and compassion to endure such unimaginable darkness. My heart aches with gratitude and sorrow alike. How can one so worn by the world still care so wholly for another? I love my brother dearly, more than words can hold, and I pray that somehow, in this wilderness, we might find solace together. The Lord may have carried me far from home, but he has left me my brother, and for that, I am endlessly thankful. I pray fervently that the Lord someday will grant him peace and mercy for the things he was led into. My heart is heavy with the weight of what I cannot take back, and I tremble at the thought that the Lord's mercy may not reach me. How can I stand before him, knowing I have faltered so grievously? How utterly cruel is the Lord to set me before such a choice.
Right, so hang on a sec.
Embroidery thread.
That's Linda Grady.
I have observed a certain familiarity between Mrs. Miller.
Alright, so they're two completely different people.
Miller and Grady came to blows over a disagreement.
Okay. I wondered if maybe Miller had done something with Grady's sister, but no, it doesn't seem like it. Maybe that was what led to the fight between them.
Oh, a teacher's bell.
Doesn't seem
Seems
like
to
that
be
was it.
verses from the Bible. The Lord is my shepherd. I've seen one of these ages ago. A magic lantern. You place a slide in the front and light it. Wow, it's beautiful. Would be amazing if I could get it to work. Such a relic. What's this?
Phonograph. The pin... Oh, this might help us get in that drawer.
It's a thorough mechanical explanation on how the tumbler lock works. I think I should be able to pick locks from now on. I wonder if the lock...
Exactly.
It describes the way a phonautograph works. Gives some perspective as of how long ago...
There's a phonograph here.
I wonder if this still works. Oh my god.
Right, let's come out of here. Let's just quickly check on the ice.
The ice still has...
It's taken a while. Let's go back to the foreman's office then. Oops. Check out the desk drawer.
Let's see if I can get this thing open. Fuck. Fuck.
Okay, it won't take too long, hopefully. 50-50 chance.
Guess that little crash course in lockpicking actually paid off. Oh, morphine pills. Seems like the foreman was in a lot of pain. I have no use for this. Seems to be an official document. Bank papers? I hope you don't mind me looking, Thomas. Maybe it fits the storehouse lock. A thick, leather-bound journal with the foreman's name on it. I might learn something useful from this.
All right, let's take a look at the letter first.
The Northern Pacific Trust and Savings Bank, Seattle, Washington, August 11th, 1887. To Mr. Thomas Adams, 16 Montlake Boulevard, Montlake, Seattle. Despite previous notices, your account with this bank remains unpaid beyond the grace afforded. Unless a partial payment is received by 20th November 1887, we shall be compelled to begin foreclosure and sale of your dwelling at the above address. It is our sincere hope you will act promptly to avoid such measures. The bank remains willing to accept any earnest payment offered without delay, as it is our preference to preserve the dignity and solvency of our clients rather than, respectfully, J. H. Whitmore.
He was out of money. Oof, okay, there's some entries here.
Miss Evans is a diligent worker and held in high esteem by the men, proving herself a considerable asset to the camp. Her knack for turning modest provisions into hearty and satisfying fare does much to sustain the men's spirits and preserve the industrious temper essential to our operations. I have, however, been obliged to remind her, firmly, of the proper order of authority between her position and mine in matters of dispute. I fear Miss Evans does not yet fully grasp the discipline and hierarchy upon which the camp must rely. Nonetheless, I intend to renew her contract, for the worth she brings to the camp far outweighs the modest wages she commands.
Okay.
Mr. Flynn must surely be the hardest working lumberman in the entire Northwest. Possessed of remarkable strength and endurance, he performs near twice the labor of any ordinary man, and I see to it that he is duly compensated for such exertions. His physical presence, too, appears to exert a calming influence over the other men when disputes or disagreements arise. I am given to understand that Mr. Flynn carries with him a past of some complexity, yet that is no concern of mine so long as he fulfills his duties here at Deer Creek, which he does with exemplary discipline. His contract shall most certainly be renewed. Mr. Levine divides his time between the forest work and managing the camp's dealings with the men through the store, and he is well aware of the margins I expect to see upheld. His loyalty is unwavering, and he is keenly attuned to the undercurrents within the camp, those matters that do not reach me in my official dealings with the workforce. We have already come to an agreement regarding an extension of his contract. I regret the day I engaged Mr. Jeffrey's services. I freely admit that I owed his cousin Eugene a favor for the doors he had opened for me, but never again. While I can, to a degree, sympathize with the sorrow Mr. Jeffrey has endured in connection with the accident, a misfortune no man should suffer, the fact remains that he is utterly incapable of performing a single task without delaying or complicating matters for the others in the camp. This leads me to the conclusion that his employment should be terminated at the earliest opportunity. He also appears unable to conduct himself properly among the other men, and so, to reduce the risk of disputes, I have had the storeroom in the store cleared and placed Mr. Jeffrey there.
Wait, what?
I regret the day I engaged Mr. Jeffrey's services. I freely admit that I owed his cousin Eugene a favor for the...
Damn, okay, something going on there with Jeffrey.
Miss Grady arrived here with her brother Hank to undertake her first year of teaching. She appears to be held in high regard by the pupils, possessing a manner of regard that compels a child to straighten himself of his own accord, not from fear of the rod, but from a desire not to disappoint her. Her steadfast study of the scriptures, which she frequently cites for guidance in morality and diligence, seems to vex some in the camp, though not to an extent that demands any adjustment. Mr. Grady insisted upon accompanying his younger sister here for her first year of teaching. He has informed me that he served in the war as a young man, and subsequently spent several years working as a ranger. I suspect that Mr. Grady is haunted by the experiences he endured, as the other men have complained that he rouses them at night on account of his nightmares. I fear he is not entirely in command of himself, having found himself in conflict with certain men here. Some time ago, Mr. Miller was confined to the sickbed for 2 weeks with a fractured rib. I reprimanded Mr. Grady with emphasis and informed him that a deduction from his wages would be made, equivalent to twice the labor Mr. Miller was unable to perform, yet it appeared to trouble him not at all. I shall not renew Mr. Grady's contract. He is far too unpredictable. If this necessitates that Miss Grady also departs Deer Creek, then so be it. Mrs. Miller divides her duties between tending to the men in the infirmary, overseeing the laundry, and assisting in the kitchen when time permits. There is nothing to remark upon in the manner of her work. She performs her tasks without complaint and keeps to herself within the camp. I intend to renew the Millers' contract, given their circumstances. There were no difficulties negotiating wages with the Millers, as their starting position was limited after 2 poor years on their farm. They had, at the time they approached me, already sold most of their livestock and tools, and faced the grim reality that they would have to sell the land. Regrettable. As I understand, Charles was the 5th generation of Millers to tend the farm, but such is life. He seems, however, to have adapted to lumber work without difficulty. Mr. Miller has stated his intention to work diligently and conscientiously here at Deer Creek in order to reclaim the farm, though I suspect he does not fully comprehend the economic forces that govern the world. That is for him to discover, and so long as his ambition drives him to labor diligently here for a modest recompense, I shall not object.
Lastly,
the reputation of Mr. Barnes reached me even before his application for work at Deer Creek. He was regarded as an exceptional smith and farrier, and such reports have proven entirely accurate. Not a single delay in production has arisen from broken or poorly maintained tools. Mr. Barnes is the sort of man who makes things run smoothly, without any fuss or display. Conscientious, honest, and upright. A good man. His contract shall be renewed.
So to go back to it was Miss Miller and...
I have observed a certain familiarity between...
Mr. Wright. Who's Mr. Wright? Don't know, not mentioned here. Okay. Let's come out of here then. Well, we've got a potential key for the storehouse, haven't we? And it sounds like we might find a body in there. Be a bit grim, but okay.
Well, I'll be damned.
she noped out of that pretty quick. The guy's been dead for over 100 years. May 1887.
If these troubles of mine have taught me anything, it is a sorrowful truth that folks carry more within them than the world ever sees. Deep valleys in the heart, where grief lies quiet and unseen. I myself am probably looked on as a recluse, socially inept. That's likely. But I do not think anyone suspects the thoughts I'm haunted by. Everyone had their reasons for coming here. Some simply for work. Some I suspect to escape whatever past they wished on to escape. There are those who are God-fearing, those who are anything but. Miss Grady came here with her brother Hank from Spokane. He had been working in the mill, but followed her to Deer Creek for first year of teaching, as he knew of the rowdy ways of lumberjacks. From what Rosie tells me, Miss Grady is well loved by the children, though she can be somewhat rigid and difficult for the adults in the camp to be around. Whether this stems from a strict personality or simply being a devout reader of the good book amongst rough company, I cannot say. I don't know much about her brother Hank, as he seems rather withdrawn. Word is, he endured horrific experiences as a soldier during the war, and later as a ranger. Things that will break any man. Beyond that, I know little of the details. Mr. Burns is an admittedly skilled blacksmith and farrier, but I don't really understand what brought him to Deer Creek, as he would probably be far better paid for his skills in the city. On the other hand, it is his sole business. I think I have only traded a few words with Mr. Barnes, but he seemed well respected and appreciated amongst the other men, dutiful and hard-working. As I'm told, when their farm's meager yield can no longer support them, Mr. and Mrs. Miller resolved to seek their fortune beyond its failing fields. Word reached them about logging prospects in Deer Creek, so they contacted Thomas, who hired them shortly thereafter. Charles as a logger, and Jane splitting her time between cooking under Mrs. Evans and running the laundry. She also tends to the men when they need care in the infirmary. Sometimes I fear Charles does not treat Mrs. Miller quite right, but I might be mistaken. I can't say what makes me feel that way. I just get the sense. I understand that Mr. Flynn has a bit of a troubled past and a temper. I would pity anyone that's on the receiving end of Mr. Flynn's upset, that's for certain. Word has it that 3 men sought to waylay him outside a tavern in Evansville, and it is said that none of them drew breath by the end of that night. Whether there is truth to it, I cannot say. Yet I sense there is honor in the man, and for reasons I cannot fully grasp, the children seems to adore him. I dare say, it appears the feeling is mutual. Thomas may be the foreman of the camp, but Miss Evans might well be its heart. She runs the cookhouse, and her meals are beloved by the men. I dare say, Mr. Flynn harbors a fondness for her. I appreciate Miss Evans' directness. She treats everyone the same, caring little for social standing or surname, and she possesses a good and steady heart. Though she stands no taller than my shoulder, her presence is commanding in a way that is difficult to describe. She can even quiet my husband on occasion, and I believe he respects her all the more for it. Judge not lest you be judged, as the good book says. and I can't think of any other place that's more true than in Deer Creek. But one thing has stuck in my mind since a few weeks ago. I don't know if I should just leave it be or not. I do trust Thomas' judgment, for as who he employs or not, it is not that. But there's still something that bothers me. Thomas hired Mr. Jeffrey solely as a favor to his cousin, Eugene Jackson, a business acquaintance from Thomas' days in the grain trade, to whom he owes a considerable debt. Mr. Jeffrey soon proved himself ill-suited for logging or any task requiring a sense of responsibility, or precision, for that matter. Thus, he was given the role of bull cook. He fetches water from the creek, ensures there is firewood in the quarters, and sees to the feeding of the horses. One remark I once overheard Mr. Grady make in passing about Mr. Jeffrey has stayed with me. The man is not proper up there. I believe Mr. Grady merely gave voice to a suspicion I too had begun to harbor. That there is something not quite right in that man. This meek-looking man, with nothing distinct about him save for his considerable height and the weariness in his eyes, should not, on the surface, be cause for concern. To most, he might even come across as incapable. Rosie delights in tending to the horses with him, and I find myself unsure on how to approach this predicament, for the man has done nothing to warrant suspicion, and Rosie loves the horses more than anything in the world. Yet, lately, he has begun to appear in my dreams, or rather, in my nightmares. Though I cannot say why, I shall keep these thoughts to myself, for I cannot let Rosie suffer on account of my unease or superstition.
Mysterious. Day 3. Old sins cast long shadows.
It wasn't just a nightmare. This is real. What happened to that man? I must have fainted when I got back. Jesus Christ, my back feels completely busted up. I knew there was something behind that door, but I would have never imagined something like this. I can't just ignore this. I have to find out what happened here. Not for the project or myself, but for him.
Okay, well, I think that's probably a good place to leave it for now. So obviously there's the big central mystery, I suppose, around this Jeffrey character and what happened to him, maybe what he did, certainly how he came to be locked up as he was, to his death, eventual death. We'll find out maybe more when we go and have a poke around that room in a bit in the next episode. But there's also other mysteries as well, like there was a sense of an affair between Miller's wife and someone called Mr. Wright, who hasn't really been mentioned elsewhere. If I have a look actually at the group photo, is he in it? It's none of them. We kind of know who these guys are. Who's this?
Clearly much younger than the rest.
That's him.
Morgan Wright worked as a logger. Quite handsome, actually. I wonder what brought him here.
So him and her may have been having an affair. And there was also the fight Grady got into with can't remember, one of the others anyway. What caused that? What was it about? Don't know. But we'll come back next time and see if we can start solving some of these little mysteries. But thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this first episode of The Tragedy at Deer Creek. If you have, if you could hit that like button, that'd be awesome. Do leave a comment as well. Let me know what you think about the game so far. Any thoughts on some of the mysteries we've encountered and what might be happening there? Let me know. And a big thank you as well to our channel members, as always, as well, for supporting Boring Dad Gaming. It's hugely appreciated, of course. And if anyone else is interested in checking out channel memberships and gaining earlier access to my various videos and series, that would be amazing. But thanks very much anyway, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye for now.